Greeting, traveler.
Games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adios! We're gonna be rich!
Games.
Inferno! Require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
Greeting, traveler.
All right, good evening, THL, and welcome to Hearthcenter. My name is Dr. Fish, and I will be your host for this evening. I am, as Lotus Knight is taking a couple weeks of vacation, I will be stepping in for this weekend and maybe a few more. We'll see how it pans out, but I'm excited to be here, and along with me, I have three wonderful co-hosts, and I will start in my top left. We have Super Chicken. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, unfortunately, unlike Lotus Knight, I do not have witty. I don't have these witty things in my brain, unfortunately. But down below Chicken in the bottom left, we have my former Tavern Talk host and, um, excellent all around player. We have Geranium Battle. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am actually, I'm well rested, which is a big change over previous any day.
For sure, it's always good to get solid rest. Glad to have you here, and below me in the bottom right hand corner, returning after a few weeks off, we have Mr. Bing Bong himself, Neji Boston. Hello, how are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Ooh, Mike just got very soft there.
I can talk close to the mic as well.
Yes. But all right. This is our crew for this evening, and to start off, as we always do, let us give out some kudos with our players of the week. So we will start off with our Hero Series Player of the Week. Super Chicken, would you mind telling us who won Hero Player of the Week?
Yeah, our hero player of the week is Trito 2. ET needed a win to secure a match win and first seed in playoffs. A loss would mean they would be fifth seed going in. So Trito 2 wins the last match 3-0 to cap off his 5-win streak from 0-3 all the way up to 5-3. Not only is this an impressive feat, but Trito 2 also clinched a Masters Tour qualifier all in one day.
Well, that is certainly a big day for Trito too. So congratulations on winning Player of the Week, the final Hero Player of the Week that we will have this season, I believe, as they are entering playoffs. And I guess we might have them next week. I don't know. But we will move into our Legacy Player of the Week. Uranium Battle, would you like to tell us who won that award?
Undefeated. Adjective. A descriptor for something that has not faced Myanodon yet. Nails was undefeated going into last week, where he then lost a close 5-game match after starting down 0-2. Blue Naga Cult was undefeated before this giant loss that was spearheaded by Myanodon's victory, and Nails' cross-conference dominance will likely be overtaken by German Shep as a result.
All right. Well, congratulations to Myanodon on a huge win over Nails. And ending the undefeated reign of Blue Naga Cult. All right. So our next up we have our Pro EU Player of the Week. So Neji Boston, would you like to tell me who won EU Player of the Week?
Yes, EU Pro Player of the Week is Mott. Mott has not got a lot of blots, but with no shot to have fought Izot, he instead took a close Game 5 set over Gaboom to give Pertinax a huge week over the current top team. This brings his team to being tied on the bubble with a team that is taking their bye week in the final week, meaning Pertinax is currently a playoff team. With one of the only bomb rogues in EU Pro, Mott really knows how to make an explosive finish. Kaboom! From Geranium Battle.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to Mott on getting a win. That was Gaboom's first loss of the season, so congratulations to him. And lastly, we have our Pro Series Player of the Week. And that will go to none other than Always Just in Time, facing the undefeated Brushy Tuna team. Big Bong Big Top comes in swinging full force, understanding that the postseason is a new start, and wins up to this point mean nothing. It didn't matter that they went 4-3 in the regular season, while Brushy Tuna went undefeated 7-0. Didn't matter the top two seeds were 14-1. They came in ready to rock and roll, needing only 4 matches to get the job done. One of those matches was Always Just in Time versus our very own Commissioner R Hat. AJT showed his dominance by sweeping his match. David beats Goliath and are now serious threats in the playoffs. Look out for Big Bong, Big Top to continue their dominance. And that write-up coming to us from Desharmo. All right. So congratulations to all 4 of these players for winning Player of the Week. And from here, let us move into Hero Series, where we have concluded our final we've concluded the final match, the final week of the season. So I'm gonna start by going over the conferences, the standings for the conferences. So Super Chicken, do you want to run through Teal Conference for me?
Yeah, so at the end of Hero regular season, at the top of Teal, we have F2L Black and the Extraterrestrials tied at first with 133 points, and then right behind them is Barnes at 132. Then At Least I Don't Have Chicken at 116. Always Ping Mage at 110, and Dad Legend at 81 points.
Yeah. So the playoff race was pretty big. Was pretty tight going into the final week with the unknown Teenage Mighty Ninja Squirtles. At Least I Don't Have Chicken and APM, and then there's some seeding stuff in other conferences. So I think congrats to those 4 teams out of Teal who made it. And to ET for getting the bye week. And so I will quickly run through the Purple Conference. So topping the Purple Conference, we have APM Awake Past Midnight with 125 points. We have F2L Obsidian at 121 points as our 2 playoff teams, followed by The Unknown at 107 points. Teenage Mighty Ninja Squirtles at 102. No Pros Here at 96. And Valisha Was a Baller at 91 points.
Before we move into the matches for the week, I would just like to explain how playoffs works here.
Sure.
It's the top team from each conference gets a bye in the first week of playoffs. So that is Awake Past Midnight at 125, and then Extraterrestrials won the week that they played F12 Black, so they win the tie essentially, and they're at the top of Teal Conference. Then it's the second team in each conference makes it into normal playoffs, and then after that it's wildcard spots. The top 2 teams that aren't already in playoffs make it. So that's why you see Barnes and At Least They Don't Have Chicken, both from Teal Conference, making it, whereas the Unknown at 107 is 9 points below where At Least They Don't Have Chicken ended. So that puts F2O Black, F2O Obsidian, Barnes, and At Least They Don't Have Chicken all in the playoffs for this week.
Yes. And I will have a playoff graphic for after we go through the matches. So for our first match of the week, we have No Pros Here versus F12 Obsidian. Neji, do you want to run me through this match?
Yeah, we had No Pros Here taking it 14-9 over F12 Obsidian. Didn't matter for No Pros Here, but F12 Obsidian misses out on the bye just by a little bit. We had Aquaman sweep Pee-wee. We had Your Mum Kid 3-0 over NJO. Dr. Bomdi 3-2 over Skittles. Bassoon Buffoon 3-0 over S Slayer. And Saku 3-1 over Dr. Fish. A few things to note. Bassoon Buffoon getting their first win of the season, so congrats to them.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm a bit surprised to see 2 Warlocks. Not something you see very often. And the 2 players who brought Warlock both lost their matches. I can't say if that's why, but Warlock is a little bit sus. But otherwise, nice win for No Pros here.
Yeah.
Denying F12 the bye here.
Something to point out is S Slayer, the person who Bassoon Buffoon beat, was on a five win streak. So
5-match win streak. Yeah.
yeah, ended a loss streak and a win streak all in one swoop. Big week for Bassoon.
Yep. It was. Yeah, it was a really interesting week. There's definitely some more suspicious decks and classes brought on our end, but I'm sure we'll clean that up for this week. But yeah, moving on into our second match. We have Extraterrestrials versus Dad Legend. Super Chicken, why don't you go ahead and run down this match for me?
Yeah, Extraterrestrials looking to get that bye in their final week, and came down a lot closer than one might have expected going into it. You know, Dad Legend didn't get a win all season, but they did put up a pretty good fight here. Getting two match wins on the board with Rice Bowl and Risen, respectively, getting wins. But the rest of ET were able to clutch it out with A2, Trito, and Vampire Nighthawk all getting wins for their team and securing the bye. And basically making it as close as humanly possible.
Yeah. Yeah, super interesting match. Obviously, Trito getting Player of the Week. This one, and I mean, locking up the #1 spot is always nice to get that bye week. Give yourself a break and see how things play out from the other teams. And so we have one more match to talk about here, and that is Barnes versus At Least I Don't Have Chicken. So Geranium Battle. Why don't you run through this match for us?
Of course. So with this one, it was a bit more interesting because both Barnes and At Least I Don't Have Chicken are playoff teams. So both of them had different goals, of course, this week. Both of them really wanted to destroy the other as much as possible so that they could get the benefits. If Barnes got a big enough win here, they would get the bye week, which, as you can see, they got 1 point away from that. And At Least I Don't Have Chicken needed to get enough points here in order to actually even make it into playoffs at all. It was hotly contested between them, the Unknown, and the final APM team. So going into it, though, I'm going to go in Barnes order here. We've got Based Inc. losing a Game 5 match against our own host, Neji Boston. We've got Astral Frog taking a 3-1 over Skirt Reynolds, who's having a tough season in the 4. Then we've got not Roadrunner, but Sharkbait subbing in and getting another win, a Game 5 match over the almost undefeated You Kitten Me. And then we've got Nails taking a 3-1 win over Always Just in Time. And then finally, Seth for Christ taking the Game 4 loss to CMAC Conf to be the final match of the week.
Greetings. Yeah, I guess Neji, as you were a part of this match, do you have any thoughts about it before we go ahead and move into the playoff picture?
Yeah, we came into the week thinking that we had to win to make playoffs, but a little bit into the week, I looked at the standings, and both the Turtle team and the other APM, they had already lost the week and didn't have very many points. So we were trying to calculate how many we needed, and the magic number was 8, I believe. And then the Unknown lost their last match as well, so we only needed like 6 points. So
Mhm.
didn't need that many. We're happy to get the win. Um, I can comment on my match a little bit. It
Mhm.
was just like a high roll fiesta for everyone who kept winning the games. But I trained my Mutinous a little bit better than Based. Based missed my Anaconda when she went for the Mutinous. So I had a massive pop-off turn and won that game. And then in game 5, my Mutinous ate her Mr. Smite in the Paladin game. And then my bird ate the Leviathan the next turn. So clearly I've trained my Mutinous better than Base, so she needs to work a little bit on that.
True. That would be something that could apparently be improved. But regardless, yeah, that's our 3 featured matches for Hero Series this week. Let's go ahead, and I have the playoff picture up here, so I will quickly run down what we have. So our 2 matches in the top left, we have F2O Black versus At Least I Don't Have Chicken. And then on the bottom we have F2L Obsidian versus Barnes. And so essentially, F2L Black being the highest seed team, if they win, they will play Awake Past Midnight. If At Least I Don't Have Chicken wins, which is our 6th seed, they will face Extraterrestrials. And whichever one of those teams doesn't have an opponent will face the winner of Obsidian and Barnes. That is the easiest way to explain it. Yeah, I will save predictions for a bit later, because we need something to talk about at the end. But yeah, this is what we have for playoffs. All right, so let me quickly do this. I have the assignments. So we're gonna move into our hero PPR section. So I will have Super Chicken go ahead and read me through our end of regular season Hero Series player power rankings. If you need them, I can send them to you.
Yeah, do you mind sending them?
No problem. There you go.
Thanks. All right, so in our honorable mentions, we have Ron Mexico at 5-3, Dear Mumked at 5-3, Reed Bobson at 5-3, Aquaman at 4-1, and Vampire Nighthawk at 5-3. And in our top 10, we have German Shep at 6-2. We have Jespine at 6-2, Wyfair at 6-2, Dr. BOMD at 6-2, Pokemon 661 at 6-1, Geranium Balinol at 6-2, You Kitten Me at 6-2, then Neji Boston at 7-1, A2 Battleship at 7-1, and at the top, it's Nails at 7-1.
Awesome. So, anyone have comments on this?
Yeah, Pokemon 661 did win their last week and just didn't submit. So
Sag. Like,
get punished.
yeah, I feel like if he had that one, he would be compete. I also have it battleships wrong. It's 22 and I'm guessing it's 22 and 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like he would have been up there with Nails if the match had been submitted, which is definitely unfortunate. So that also kind of preaches the importance of reporting your match, which most players do. But if something like that happens, you might unfortunately take a no contest.
Similarly, why didn't Aquaman 575 report his wins in the first 3 weeks.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, he didn't play. He did not play the first 3 weeks of the season. As my mid-season pickup, he did amazing. Really helped propel us. On top of consistency from the other players.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Bombi should be 6-2, by the way.
Yes.
So, just making little errors here and there, but there we go. Everything is correct. That is our Hero Series player power rankings, final ones for the season. Take a screenshot, do whatever you want with it, but because we're gonna move on now to Legacy Series. We are going to start in the Gold Conference. All right, let's move down. So, for Legacy Gold Conference, I will quickly run through the standings before we get into the matches. So, at the top of our list, at 7-1, we have Blue Naga Cult at 147 points. Second place, I believe this was one of their first times up here at the top. We have F12 White at 133 points and a 5-1-2 record, followed by Fish Eternum at 131 points. Hot Zilfs at 122 points. Pod People at 117. Then a bit of a drop for Hoot Me Dude at 105. Colossal Misplays at 104. And the Stubbs at 88. Playoff pictures, because we are kind of there. Pod People and Zilfs. It's pretty much a battle between those two this week. I believe they actually play. So the other teams below them are pretty much eliminated. I guess maybe barring, because even if Pod People wins big over Hot Zilfs, then Hoot Me Dude can't make it. So yeah, Hoot Me Dude and below are eliminated from playoffs. But yeah, so let us get into the matches. And for our first match, we have Hot Zilfs versus Fish Eternum. And for that, I will look to Geranium Battle to tell me about this match.
Yeah, I mean, this is the reason why Hot Zilfs is even here in the fourth spot, the playoff spot right now, is because they took a win over Fish Eternum. Used to be the second team in the Gold Conference. Hot Zilfs took a 15-12, pretty good week for them, with Coles taking a 3-1 win over Yo Daddy, who's been having a spectacular season. Thankfully, Zancat won Game 5, so that I could say that Dundee lost in the 2. Astral Frog took a 3-1 win over Jester. Two Fly took a 3-1 win over Chronic, and then finally Lefty cleaned it up with a Game 5 win over Laughing Frog, who's also been having a stellar season.
Yeah. So I guess I'll ask Super Chicken if he has any thoughts on this match.
Yeah, I mean, pretty clutch match by Hot Zilfs. I mean, they really needed this win to make playoffs, and they just got there against one of the stronger teams in their conference, knocking Fish Eternum down to third. So I mean, a pretty good look if you're the Zilfs. I mean, they have to be feeling good. They clutched out their win-in match, and I mean, are looking kind of decent going into playoffs.
For sure. So hopefully they can keep it up this week and secure the playoffs. But yeah, speaking of the team that moved up into second place, our other match is F2L White versus Blue Naga Cult. It was two great matches up here at the top of gold for the week. Neji, run me down this match.
Yeah, we had F2L White beating Blue Naga Cult 15-11 and handing them their first loss of the season. Rebob took a 3-1 over Izat, who subbed in for Lotus Knight. Myanodon took a 3-2 over Nails and giving him his first loss of the season. Bach for Life 3-1 over Slad. Anfall 3-0 over Skittles. And Righteous Jammies 3-2 over Totino's Pizza. F2L White was almost exactly the same 4 classes for every single player. Demon Hunter, Rogue, and Warrior, brought by everyone. And apparently that strategy was the winning strategy this week because Blue Naga Cult brought a huge variety of classes and did not go their way for the first time. So nicely done by F2L White. Still going to be very hard to catch Blue Naga Cult this week.
Yeah,
Um, but boosting themselves up into second place is still really good.
for sure. Yep, getting a 2 seed means you have better odds going into the playoffs, or you well also being the highest pointed 2 seed team, like point wise, will get you a bye week. So this goes a long way for F2L White to make their case for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, F2L White has been making a really good case for themselves.
Mhm.
Uh, Last week, they tied against one of the 2 undefeated teams, Kachow Clowns. And then this week, they took a win over the other undefeated team, Blue Naga Cult. They only have 1 loss themselves. So, I mean, F2L White, if they aren't getting, one of the bye spots, either the wild card bye spot or the top of the conference bye spot, I'd be hard pressed to find someone else.
Mhm. For sure. All right, so that is gonna do it for our gold conference coverage. Good luck to every team this week. And so next up, we are going to look at the red conference. Geranium battle. Why don't you run through? Why don't you go over our standings before we get into our featured matches?
Of course, sitting at the top of Red Conference is S21 THL Legacy Series team at 151 points. All they need is 1 point in order to lock the bye into playoffs. Then below them is another Priest meta sitting at 128. Big gap. But right below them is Defias at 127. Then 4 Justins, 1 Sustin at 121. Then a larger gap once you get out of the bubble for playoffs. 14 points down is Hearthstone Academy at 107. Then the coolest at 101. Not Justin, unfortunately, guaranteed eliminated at 84. And then taking our rightful spot at the bottom of the conference, I'm a Legacy 3 seed Smile at 80 points.
All right. Yeah, we've got a lot of room for seating changes within red conference for the first for the 3, 2, 3, and 4 spot. So it'll definitely be a fun week to keep up with. But let's look back at this previous week, starting with 4 Justins and 1 Sustin versus another Priest meta. So Chicken, tell me about this match.
Yeah, another pretty close match here. 9 has moved up all the way to the 1 seed and has been doing fairly well, but has fallen this week against Cheesy 10, who's been one of the best 1 seeds in all of Legacy series so far. Going down the list, we have Wild Rose taking down Genji. Infinite once again falling to a Nubinator, having a lot of DQs this season, but not a lot of, in his when he does get to play his matches, he usually does pretty well. Although I'm not sure if this match had some weird thing about it too, with maybe a Maestro deck or something like that. I don't remember completely.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, I thought
Maestro, yup.
Yeah, one of those awesome THL Maestro roles that everyone loves so much. And then moving down even further, we have Pokemon taking down Reverb 3-1, and then Skirt Reynolds taking down Roadrunner 3-2, ending Roadrunner's
Oh.
undefeated streak this season.
Man. Yeah, he came a game 5 short of the undefeated season, which pretty much would have locked up MVP for Roadrunner if he had won.
Well, there's German Shep.
Oh, sorry, Shep also undefeated this season. My apologies. I've even seen everything about that, and I totally forgot. My apologies to Shep. Well, I forgot. I thought he was the only. I thought that Roadrunner was the only one, but I haven't been keeping great track. But yeah, so we'll get into PPR here in a little bit, but we have another match in the Red Conference to talk about. That is Defias versus Hearthstone Academy, and so for that match, Neji, tell me what happened in this match.
Well, Defias took an 18-8 over Hearthstone Academy. We had Wild 9, 3-2 over Ron Mexico, Classy Thug 3-1 over Chewbacca subbing in, Nebcanuck 3-0 over Boozosaurus. The Big Ted was the one win for Hearthstone Academy, 3-2 over the Real Lure, and Azuma 3-1 over Cherub. So this was pretty important for both teams, I'd say. Hearthstone Academy really needs a lot of points, like last week and this last week coming up. And Defias really knocked the wind out of their sails and propelled themselves up to third place and only 1 point behind second place in their conference. So this is a really important win for them, and they got it done. 18 points is quite a few. So well done to them.
Yes, well done to Defias. Yeah, we're gonna look to see how they finish out, as well as every other team in the Red Conference. Any thoughts on this match before we move over to Silver Conference?
Why is Chewbacca subbing everywhere and winning? Is he gonna get BGH in every series?
Well, he didn't win this time.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
He tried.
he tried. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's interesting. I'm not used. I think last season we had Super Murloc sub in up in the 2 seed and get a win. And this time, unfortunately, Chewbacca unable to get that, which would have been by far the BGH in Legacy, very likely, and not 100% sure. And I'm sure we'll get. I think that's kind of kept track of in the website somewhere. I don't 100% know, but yeah. Congratulations to Defias on a huge week, and HGC is gonna have to put up a ton of points against whoever they're playing, and try to get hopefully get some help with whoever's playing for Justin's once Dustin or Defias to get up there into playoffs. All right. So, final conference for Legacy. Going into the Silver Conference. Neji, run me through the standings for this. I guess it's not updated here on the notes, but I do have it. I'll grab it for you now.
All right, I see it on the stream, so I think.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I updated it on stream, but not in the notes.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kachow Clowns at the top with 150 points. Dad Legend with 124. Illidan's Death Knights have 121. Standard THL Degenerates 117. Dumbledore's Army 107. Serenite Pain Gang 101. Thunks of Drunken City 84. And Explosive Sheep 77.
All right. So, Kachow Clowns, I'm pretty sure y'all are locked with a bye. So congratulations. Big no is that Dad Legends, I think DeSharmo told me they started 0-3 and now they're 5-3. So they've been they found their stride, for sure this season. And so speaking of Dad Legend, we'll look at them for our first match. I will I will run down Dad Legend versus the Serenite Pain Gang. So it was total score 14-8. So we see a lot of low scoring as there was a ton of sweeps in this series. Starting off with the 1 seed Desharmo taking a 3-0 sweep over your Mumked. Isocles getting a sweep over Blood Rose. Pescatarian for Serenite Pain Gang getting a sweep over King Viking. Meanwhile, Yellow Dart getting a sweep over Super Murloc, and Eternal versus Haster going the distance, 5 games. I believe that was on stream, and Eternal coming out with the victory. So congratulations to Dad Legend on continuing your winning streak, and Serenite Pain Gang is still kind of close. Like they're not too far behind. It will take a lot for a few of these teams to catch up for the playoff race. For sure. But for our I guess I'll ask if anyone has thoughts before I move into our next match.
Yeah, I mean, Eternal's been really good about getting matches on stream. I think everyone but one or maybe two of Eternal's matches have been on stream this season.
Yeah.
So, it's always fun to watch 5 seeds play. So very good stream matches.
For sure. I've played quite a few on stream this week. Quite a few on stream this season myself. It is a blast. Yeah, we'll move on to our next match, which we have Illidan's Death Knights versus Kachow Clowns Super Chicken. Tell me what happened in this match.
Well, the Clowns are washed apparently. They just felt like losing this week. Yeah, seems like without Cord in their anchor apparently, they just completely fold and fall apart, and only Cordamora was able to get a win this week. But not that it matters too much for the Clowns. They're locked for playoffs, very close to lock. I think they are locked for a bye as well. So
Yeah,
I'm sure
they
they're
are.
just. I'm sure a lot of their prep now is probably going to be, maybe a bit of experimenting, maybe a bit of throwing people off the scent going into playoffs, bringing some weird stuff because their points don't matter anymore. So, it really does not matter if they get any more wins.
And hey, thank you, Neji Boston, for losing to JR. It was an early birthday present for him. So.
Oh, good. I know it was.
All right. Yeah. I mean, Neji messaged me. Losing to eliminate the curse factor, so we like it. We do have a facto from Kodamora. So, yeah. Oh damn, Rice Bowl. All right. But yeah, that is our coverage of Legacy for the week. But we still have for our that's the match coverage, and now we have our Legacy Legacy player power rankings. This is the second to last one, as we have one more week. So for Legacy series, we have Neji Boston to go through the rankings.
All right. We have Bach for Life at 15th in our honorable mentions at 6-2. Corden at 5-2. 13th, Totino's Pizza at 5-3. 12th place, Laughing Frog, 6-2. 11th is Wicked Good at 6-1. And moving into our top 10, we have Yo Daddy at 10th place, 6-2 record. You Kitten Me, 9th place, 6-2. 8th place is Agent PWE at 6-2. 7th place is Astro Frog, 6-1. Number 6 is Lotus Knight, 6-1. Number 5, Kodamora, 7-1. Fourth place is Cheesy 10 at 7-1. Third place, Nails at 7-1. Second place, Roadrunner 7-1. And first place, it's not rigged. We have our undefeated player, German Shep, at 8-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there you go. We have a not rigged rankings. We have Shep sitting up in first place with an excellent 8-0 season so far with obviously this last week to go. Yeah, I think Shep has found a new yard diamond. So yeah, this is the rankings, get your screenshots, whatever you want to do, but we're going to be moving on, and we're going to go to our commercial break. Take a quick break to tell you a little about THL. So, I used to do this. I did this all the time for a few seasons of Tavern Talk here. Geranium Battle. Run us through the commercial break.
Hey there, Twitch viewers. Have you subscribed to Team Hearth League yet? Then make today the day to be a league yourself and subscribe to our channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs of operating a website, and as well as improve the quality of our memes and content to our viewers. If you have Amazon Slime or Twitch Slime, you can sub to the channel for free. And subscribers will get a THL emoticon as well as the lovely THL chat badge, so that heart button and keep notifications bing bong to make sure you catch our team broadcast bing live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Special note to our viewers, check out THL's other social media points of interest. The website is at teamhearthleague.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join us on Discord at Team Hearth League. And the true Hearth legend himself, Saku, continues to post all of our videos on our YouTube channel. Just search for Team Hearth League to catch everything previously recorded. You are, of course, watching us on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Team Hearth League, or possibly on our YouTube channel in the future. And for all of you THL Kachoutics out there are THL Kachos every single-age most days of the week. You can't go bong, tune bing at any time for some banger Hearthstone-related content. And now back to the good part. Kachow later.
Nice.
Beautiful.
It's so beautiful. All right. So we have Pro Series to go over. I think for Pro we will start off with the bracket because they've already started. So they're in week 2. So let's take a look at the playoff picture after this week. So we will run through each match, but we have Bing Bong, Big Top against Zarella's Disciples, and we have Rope and Cope versus For the Boys as our semi-finalist teams. And we will get to tell you all about it, but here is the massive picture of the bracket. So, XD's in chat, and let's get into the matches. We will start with, I have split this up into the 2 conferences, as each conference has a winner each, which makes it nice and easy to start off with our Black Conference matches. Let's see. I have to go quickly down there and check who I gave this match to. I believe I gave this to Super Chicken. So Chicken, why don't you run me through your playoff match?
Yeah, this was definitely closer than we were expecting it to be, especially with how the week started. We felt like we'd prepared quite well for it. I think we got pretty favorable matchups for most of our players. But then Budov and Rekvam lost their matches first, both 3-2. So we that was a bit concerning. You never want to lose the first 2 matches of a week. But yeah, luckily the Dabs, Shep, and I were able to get wins and close it out for us. I had a bit of an easier job at that point. I only needed to get
2 points.
2 points, I believe.
Yep.
So by that point, it wasn't too bad, and I was playing favorables as well. So yeah, my teammates made it pretty easy for me.
For sure. Anyone have comments on this match? All right. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Everyone who submits Druid will win. let's see if that stays true in the future matches.
Ah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just the best class.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right. So for our other match from the Black Conference winners, we have XD. We have Zorella's Disciples versus F2L Geranium Battle. Would you mind telling me about this match?
Of course, XD faced F2L and eliminated them 14-8, only needing 4 of the 5 matches to get it done. And my prediction's already wrong. Druid lost with Jespine taking a Game 5 loss to Itachi. However, the rest of the matches went to XD's way, with Just Concede taking a Game 5 win over Marty B, and Pace taking a Game 5 over Glee. And there's a GM in it too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Luna Love did in fact sweep Ree Bobson, and yeah, now we see why Jespine is a mod in her chat.
True. Yeah. You know, really, that's one of the best subs you could get in Hearthstone. So there you go. Yeah, congratulations to XD on getting a win over a very good F2L team. So yeah, the semis curse is broken, but unfortunately, it's because they didn't make the semifinals. For F2L. So yeah, we'll have to see how they do this next upcoming week. So yeah, we have those 2 matches out of the way, and so over to the Pink Conference we go. Starting with, this is the wrong match. I do not know why this didn't change. I didn't change it, I guess. But oh, you know why? Because it's probably I don't know. This is being silly. But first match is the rope and coat match. It just is the wrong rope and coat match. So here we go. There we go. There it's up on the screen now. So rope and coat versus achieving playoffs, maybe. It went only 4 matches, as did the last one, with rope and coat getting a 12-7 victory over APM. So first match up on the top of the screen, we have Dankus Dad getting a 3-1 win over Sabretooth 20. Then we have Noe taking a 3-0 sweep over Genji. Nice Jewish Owl with a 3-2 win over Magnificent. And for APM we had Reverb getting a 3-0 sweep over Copa. I believe Owl was the final match of the set. I'm not 100% sure. But it was either Noe or Owl who sealed the week for their team. All right. So does anyone have any thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I mean APM. They're able to make it in the playoffs now, but staying power seems to be their problem.
Okay. And Bowmasters confirmed it was Mac versus Owl as the final match of the set. So, yep, congratulations to Rope and Cope, and for your victory this week, you will play for the boys. Of course, every team that makes playoffs in pro is pretty dang good. So, you go from one good team to another. And for our second match, we have I will give Neji the honors of telling me about his playoff match, Bing Bong Big Top versus Brushy Tuna.
Yeah, Bing Bong Big Top came in as the 4th seed, and Brushy Tuna had not lost a single week. But unfortunately for them, that streak is over in the first round of the playoffs. Big Bong Big Top 13-6. We had Nails take a 1-3 loss to McBanterface on stream. Always just in time, 3-0 over Ridiculous Hat. Kalis Luna 3-1 over sub Lucas Diamnask, who was subbing for Lotus Knight, and myself taking a 3-1 over Based Inc. So, yeah, as Bone Master says, the undefeated curse strikes again. Unfortunately for Brushy Tuna, they made finals last season, I believe, so won't be able to clinch and get the win this season, but I'm sure we'll see them back. They're a very, very strong team.
Yeah, agreed for sure.
Yeah.
It's a huge win for Bing Bong. It's not, and it is a bit unfortunate for Brushy Tuna to have to go up against a team who, for like the last couple of seasons, with maybe a couple of players different here and there, have been the 1 seed out of their conference most seasons. So for them to be 4th place and to go up against such a strong team, yeah, definitely not an easy match, and we saw Bing Bong get the big win.
And now with that, there are no more undefeated teams in THL at all this season. So
Yeah.
Brushy just forgot to do it before playoffs.
Unfortunate. But yeah, from here we won't have we won't have pro player power rankings anymore as they've entered playoffs. But we have one more series to go over, and that is EU Pro. They are this is also their final week. We will do predictors at the end of the stream, Diamond. I have predictors for Hero and for Pro at the end.
Did the PPR?
There's no Pro PPR. We're doing it for EU.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess because it's playoffs now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so for now we're going into EU Pro. So Neji, why don't you run me through the current standings that we have?
All right, we have League of Nations at the top with 124, Donkey Hot 114, Pan and Cooks 107, Pertinax, and Flowens Esports both at 100. F12 Violet has 98, Undivided with 93, Team Enigma at 93, and Underdogs with 63. And to note, Flowens Esports has the bye in the final week, right?
Yeah, so they're very likely. They're pretty much already mathematically eliminated. As I think it's only the first. I think it's only top 4 for this season for EU Pro making the playoffs. So yeah, I think we have one lock team in League of Nations, and then we have some seeding, and also seeding is up for grabs. For this, but yeah, why don't we go through and recap last week's matches, starting with I have the order mixed up, but I will switch that really fast. So for our first match, we have Flowens Esports versus Donkey Hot and Super Chicken. Why don't you tell us about this match?
Yeah, it was a valiant effort for Flowens Esports. Unfortunately, not enough to get them into playoffs this season, but they did take it to one of the best teams in EU Pro in Donkey Hot. So Glista getting a 3-1 over Palyuha, Razor getting a 3-2 over Donkey, who just won the Latin American Community Gaming tournament, which was like $1,000 tournament with a Masters Tour invite. So, I mean, pretty impressive there. I mean, Donkey's been a great player for a while, but yeah, it's still quite impressive to beat someone who's been playing so hot recently. And then Lobster Pants falling to Bronca 279. Oh god, I don't know how to pronounce this.
I think it's
Captain Pre. Yeah, apologies for that in
oh
advance. Against Groinkpuf.
Another
Growing
har-
up.
another different one. Yeah.
Who put these EU names in here? Yeah, 3-2 there, and then D Mander unable to get a win this season, but still making it close, 2-3 to Seco HS.
All right. Yeah. So a good win for Flowens. Unfortunately, not quite enough to get them in, but we do now have one last match to cover for this week. So we will pull it up. So Geranium, why don't you tell me about Pertinax versus League of Nations?
Of course, League of Nations still the top team even after this bashing by Pertinax, a 17-7 win. The player of the week, Mott, winning over the previously undefeated. I know Gaboom looks like they have 2 losses. That's because they already played this week and lost. But Mott taking a 3-2 victory over the previously undefeated Gaboom. Izat taking a 3-1 win over Bouncy Knight. Martinino answering back with a 3-0 win over World's Player Mighty. Dixon Ho.
Gazinho. I'm assuming it's like Gazinho.
I have no clue. Taking a 3-1 win over Dead 17, and then finally Revokes with a 3-0 sweep over Den. In this case, the other shaman that is in Mott's lineup is the Control Shaman that Marty's thing just doesn't recognize yet. However, back in Donkey Hot's match, Bronca279 brought an actual other shaman. It was some weird Kazakhstan shaman. So.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah. So, does anyone have thoughts? Any more thoughts on the matches on EU Pro as a whole before we go ahead and finish off the series with player power rankings?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, up on the screen we have our DPR for Pro EU Series Geranium Battle. You have the honors to go through and read.
Of course. Running it from the bottom up at 15th, our honorable mention is Dead's 17 at 4-3. Right above him is Jack Attack at 4-2. Right above that is Lasagna, 13th place with 4-2. Groink Poof, right above that with 3-4. Definitely not a scam there. Fudov making it there with 4-2. But barely outside of the top 10, where Max VDP is the gatekeeper, also at 4-2. Ninth place is Donkey, who's hot with 4-3. Payuha at 5-2. Above that, Superfake, 5-2. Gay Pirate at 4-1 in 6th place. Chewy at 5-2 in 5th place. Glista, who was almost going to be Player of the Week, but at 5-3. Izat at 6-1. Mott, 2nd place with 5-2, and right above him, Gaboom, currently 6-2, but actually was 6-1 at the time of the end of last week.
Yeah. Just to note, that is a massive jump. Like, everyone's pretty close. Like, 6th place down is pretty close. And then 5th place and then there's a little bit of a gap to Chewy, and then up to Glista, and then that gap up to Izat and Mott. And just a massive, like, 2.2 above is Gaboom. What an excellent season they are having. Is pretty dominant so far, yeah.
I know that the stream can't see the numbers, but Mott is just so barely ahead of Izat.
No, the numbers are up there.
Oh, the numbers are up
this
there?
This is the only series where we show numbers.
I'm not
that
I'm
in
not
Pro. No, you're good. Yeah, no, we are showing the numbers. Yes. Turns out, as Diamond says, French players kind of good. True. That is indeed a fact. We have Gaboom, and then we have Gabby. Excellent players from the country of France. So there's our EU Pro player power rankings. So why don't we go to back to our caster stream, and then Diamond also naming some more. So there we go. So we are now back at the main screen, and I want to thank all three of you for joining me this week. And we are now at the point where we can do predictos for Hero round 1 and for Pro playoffs. So, Super Chicken, thank you for coming on the show this week. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep, so I will ask you what you think will be the outcome of these 4 matches coming up this week. If I can run them through if you need reminders. But
yeah, do you mind? Is there a way to pull up the hero matches? I
sure. So for Hero,
I guess I can just.
So for
look at them on
Hero,
the site.
so for Hero, we have F12 Black versus At Least I Don't Have Chicken as our first match. I can just pull up the Hero playoffs thing on stream as well for everybody. That way, if you have that up, you can just look there. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna pick. At Least I Don't Have Chicken, and Barnes on the teal side,
Mhm.
Of the bracket here. I just think teal was a stronger conference overall. Although like some of these are from teal as well.
There's 3 there's 3 teams from teal, and then the
there
only
are
team
3 teams from teal.
and then the only team playing out
of
purple is Obsidian.
I gotta go with my former team.
Mm-hmm.
At Least I Don't Have Chicken. I think they're gonna turn up for playoffs. I think they're gonna do great and get some wins and maybe make a bit of a run. And then yeah, I think Barnes is kind of the powerhouse team that came really close to getting that bye, but we're just short. Along with, was it F12 Black as well? That was quite close. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, F12 Black is
Um,
actually tied points, but
yeah,
I lost the head to
there's
head.
that. So I mean, yeah, like a lot of these teams in Hero are just really. Hero always seems stacked. It seems like it's like that way every season. So
For sure.
but yeah, anyway. So I think these weeks are going to be really close. But yeah, I do have Chicken and Barnes.
Okay. And so I guess for Pro, what do you think about for Pro?
I think we're gonna lose to Rope and Cope. I'll say it. I think Milo's already in my head, and I have no chance against No Way H. And then on the other side, it's Bing Bong
versus XD.
Oh, right, Zerala's Disciples.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, all the best standard players would be out of a job if the best wild players came over, so...
We're picking XD, boys!
Surely this holds true, right? But yeah, I think it's going to be XD versus Rope and Cope in the finals.
Alright. So I will leave the Hero playoffs up, and I will go to Duranium Battle. Thank you, obviously, for coming on the stream. And so I will also ask you the same question: which teams from the Hero playoffs and from the Pro playoffs do you think will take wins?
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me again. But for Hero playoffs, I mean, look, they've already won in the main season, and I think they're going to win their repeat matchups in the postseason as well. I think it's going to be F12 versus F2L moving on, and then beating even the teams above them and making it so it's an F2L finals. And then I think it's going to be Obsidian winning it out. I don't think that anyone's been paying attention to Obsidian since they sort of didn't come into their own until after the first 2 weeks were done. But then Obsidian absolutely destroyed everyone for a bunch of weeks in a row. So APM barely, like, we're very lucky to have gotten the buy spot. I think Obsidian's going to run with this one. And then in Pro, I mean, I've been backing them since last week. All you brushy tuna simps, get out of my chat because it's XP going all the way, baby. And I think hey, Chicken, obviously you don't want to back yourself, but I'm going to back you. I think For the Boys is going to be the other team in finals that will lose to XD.
Oh no, it's over.
The
Back it up.
whammy has been placed.
Honestly, go next.
Go next. Yeah. So finally, Neji, it's great to have you back. Glad to hear you feeling a little bit better. For sure.
COVID sucks.
Yeah, it really does. So
Okay, guys,
same
could
questions.
I say it?
What?
I think COVID is bad.
No way.
No, never.
That's kind of a hot take, honestly.
Yeah.
That's cat.
But of course, same question, you Neji. You don't have to go all the way. You can just go with the first round. You can do whatever you want for playoff for Hero and Pro playoffs. I know you didn't do Pro predictions last week, so I guess you can do that in Hero as well.
All right. At least I don't have Chicken is going to win. Let's go. And I think F2 Obsidian is also going to win. And then I guess Chicken would face ET. And Chicken's going to win again.
Mhm.
And then we'll say it'll be F2 Obsidian versus APM, right?
Yeah.
We'll go F12 Obsidian. And then in the finals, I am not sure. I'll pick my team again. Let's go.
Let's go.
But
Yeah.
honestly, this is a really stacked Hero playoffs. All of these teams are very, very good. So
Mhm.
I could see any of them going either way. Just gotta make a guess here.
Yeah.
And then for Pro, I will say XD versus Rope and Cope in the finals. And we'll go with Rope and Cope as the winners. Easy.
Damn. Picks himself in Hero, picks against himself in Pro. Yeah. I will abstain from predictions because I am the host and I don't have to do it. But I did back Brushy Tuna in the playoffs, so they obviously did not take the week down. I for some reason underestimated Bing Bong. But you demand my takes. I'll predict the top match, and gosh, that's a close. It's a very close match. I'm not gonna go through everything about it, but I at least want to look at the teams because we looked at both of their matches before I call anything. We didn't look at F12 Black. I think at least I don't have Chicken will do really well if Skirt can turn it around in playoffs. I think they have I think right now I'd have to say F2L Black pulls it down, but it's going to be a close one. And then Barnes versus Obsidian was a 1-point match during the regular season, and it could be the same thing here. But yeah, there you go. There's my hero take for this week. F2L Black squeaks by, and I have no clue for my match. I obviously want to win. And in Pro, with the remaining teams, I think it's super close. Rope and Cope versus For the Boys could turn out to be a really good match. I'm gonna say For the Boys, and I'm gonna say Bing Bong, and I'm gonna say that it's gonna be a battle of former champions, and Bing Bong will take down the title this season.
Bing Bong.
Bing Bong. Yep. All right, so Diamond demanded my takes and I gave them. So congrats. So there you go, everybody. Yep. That is our show for the week. I want to thank everybody in the everybody for watching the stream, and I will potentially see you next week as the host. Not 100% sure, and if not, I'm sure there'll be a great cast regardless. So have a fantastic week, everybody. If you want to get your matches on stream, go to the stream match request tab in the main Discord, and you can see what slots are available. We will see you on Thursday night for Wild and Out. Hope to see you all then.